hope all is well with you. Wanted to do a update video now that it is mid-May, and I wanted to show you what the garden's starting to look like. So starting out here in the front bank, you can see the grasses are starting to sprout, the lavender is starting to sprout, the rhodos are flowering. My Caromops humulus is very much alive after the cold winter. It was -12, but I did protect it somewhat this winter. Otherwise it would have been toast. The yuccas are all good. There's a yucca gloriosa that's coming back for me. I got my agaves out here as well, loving the sun. Over here, a variety of yuccas are doing well, including this purple yucca, magenta yucca that I didn't think would survive the winter, but it did just fine. And there's some collar guards in there as well. There's some small rostratas I had here that unfortunately don't look so good. So it just goes to show you that age is everything with plants, because I have large rostratas that are doing just fine, but when you get to the small ones, like you can see, this is a 3-headed rostrata, so these 2 heads are okay, but this one is dead. So pretty surprising actually. Over here I got another rostrata I put in. I bought this a couple months ago. It's looking pretty good. It's fairly sizable. Got on it for a good price at the garden center. I had to replant the phormium because it suffered catastrophic damage from -12 this winter. Rhododendrons looking good. I also have a yucca blue century there, and a yucca, most likely a rigida down there, or a gloriosa, I'm not quite sure, the one that's got a trunk to it. Most likely a gloriosa actually. Got that from a friend that didn't want it anymore. This is one of my big trackies. I had to cut off a lot of the fronds after heavy snow damage this winter. It just looked like hell, and it still does look like hell because it's just like a stick with a few fronds up top, but as you can see, it's sending out some blooms, which is a sign it's still alive. So I'm hoping it's going to start pushing some new fronds pretty soon now that it's warming up to about 20 degrees in the day and 10 degrees at night. Let me show you guys the other side of the driveway here. Some more yuccas over here, doing just fine. This is my sable minor I bought early last year that never really did much for me, and then a spear pulled, and it never has regained from that spear pull. So there's nothing growing down there. So I don't have much hope for it. I'm gonna leave it for now because you just never know. If we get some high heat, it might push something out, but if I don't get anything this summer, obviously it's toast, even though it still has green fronds on it. These are yucca blue centuries. This is a Courtyard australis, or sorry, this is a Courtyard indivisa, which I had protected this winter. It did suffer some damage, but as you can see, it's pushing out some healthy growth there. This is a yucca Goloka, I believe. It's actually surprisingly hardy, even in the wet. Don't seem to have any damage on it, which is nice. It's a sable minor I got recently. This thing is 5 years old, believe it or not, 5 or 6 years old. Sable minors are proving to be quite reliably hardy here, so I think I'm gonna get as many of those as I can in the garden. Problem is they grow so damn slow and hard to find them in the nursery. So this one I got from a local hobbyist. He sold me that. Here's my biggest gloriosa, or sorry, rostrata. As you can see, it suffered a little bit. There's a little bit of wet, cold damage in there, but nothing too serious. And it is pushing out some new growth now. It's got quite a sizable trunk on it. Probably about almost 2 feet of trunk, and it's skirting. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm letting it skirt, so it's going to look quite good as it gets larger. Another agave put out. This is another Sable Miner Razorback that I got from a local hobbyist. I got 2 of those. I haven't planted the other one. Very cold hardy, and I find the sables do really well in this climate. Another Yucca rigida or Blue Century. This is Eucalyptus Debuzophilia, Nivophilia debuz something. I forgot the name. Anyways, this is the most reliably hardy eucalyptus you can have, bar none. Way better than the common ones you see around. The Gunnii, much better. Haven't suffered any issues with that one so far. Some more collar guard yuccas. This is another phormium that unfortunately has suffered some cold damage. Kind of looks like hell right now. I'm gonna leave it for now and see if it comes back. And my evergreen magnolia Cape Paris, which snapped in half along with the other 3 I have in the garden from the heavy snow load. Anyways, it has some new growth. It's probably gonna bloom for me pretty soon. And we'll probably shoot some new growth from where it broke and branch out from that point. So it'll be nice and bushy, which would be good. One more palm I want to show you here in the front bank is this needle palm. It's very, very slow growing. It's tiny. It did spear pull for me the first year I had it, but the offshoots seem to be fine. And this year, despite the -12, didn't really suffer any damage. I did put a tarp on top of it and a blanket. It's about the only protection it had. So going up the driveway here, got some bamboo here. This is the red-combed Fragasia. It's very fine form. Forgot the species name. It's quite nice. A little bit of mugo pine here. This is Fragasia robusta. Quite a nice pattern to it. Got some ferns here. And this Japanese laurel, variegated. Quite nice. Let's see, where should we go? Maybe onto the deck here. This is our little water feature. Some evergreen jasmine, which unfortunately died back quite a bit this winter because of the cold. It's a nice big dogwood blooming right now for us. Here, if you recall, if you've seen my previous videos, I had a Trachycarpus manipur planted here. But unfortunately, it suffered severe cold damage despite me protecting it somewhat. And I thought it was a goner, but I'll show it to you a bit later in the video. But it is pushing out some new growth now, which is exciting. I thought I lost it. So in its place, I put this Tasmanian tree fern. So there's one there and a little one there. These ones are fairly cold hardy, although you should protect them if it gets down much below, -3 Celsius or something like that. And then these are some angel trumpet plants or brugmansias. I have 3 large ones I grow. And this is a variegated one. Very beautiful smelling blooms. I've gotten into collecting maples, so I'll show you a few maples that I've had recently. I have them in pots mostly just because they're more manageable. Some more of that dogwood. Really beautiful. So this is the deck. That's the view. We live on Bowen Island, British Columbia, Canada. So it's a little island off of Vancouver, about 20-minute ferry ride. And we've been here for about 15 years and we really love it. As you can see, we've got a nice ocean view and you can see orcas and humpbacks going by. Just really love it. It's also good for growing stuff. So we're technically in a zone 8B now in here. It used to be 9A, but the last few winters have really thrown us some curveballs with lows down to -12 Celsius, which we never used to get. and it's only for a short duration, but they, you know, you get those kind of temperatures and even the trachees tend to suffer a bit. So Trachycarpus fortunei, I grew from seed. It's getting pretty sizable here. Some agaves here. Korean fir. This is silver show. I don't know if you guys collect conifers. I like to grow everything. You know, palms are my favorite, but I like to grow everything. This Australian tree fern back there. I took this orchid cactus out of the greenhouse just to give it some more sun. Look at the beautiful blooms on that. I have 4 different colors: a pink, a red, a orangey color like this one, and a yellow like this one. They're just gorgeous. I love them, and they're very easy to take care of. Don't even water them at all. It's a Wagnerianus in a pot. This is my pure Princeps. Excited to get that. You can actually see the glaucous sheen on the fronds. Both top and bottom gets that glaucous cover. I'm gonna keep this one in a pot because I really don't want to lose it. It's very slow growing. This one's about maybe 3 years old now, and it's barely 4 inches tall. That's my cat being lazy. It's what cats like to do. Another Japanese maple. I'll do a separate video on the maples, so I won't bother naming all the varieties, but it's definitely a nice contrast between the palms and the red of the maple. Cameropsyrifera. Got this one in a pot. I'll probably put it in a bigger pot. I'm going to keep this one potted. I have one already planted. I don't want to risk any damage to this one. It just looks so good. Look at the beautiful color in that one. Coming to the other side here, we have another maple. And then a Brahea armata. I have this in a 15-gallon pot. And I've had this outside all winter under the eaves. Only time I brought it in when it got -12, I put it in the greenhouse. Very hardy. Likes it dry though, so that's why it's under the eaves so it doesn't get rained on. Barilla pine. It's a rhododendron with really nice smelling blooms. Here I just have some bamboo for privacy. Another Japanese maple. And then over here, this is, haven't done much with these 2 beds. This is my daughter's garden, although I kind of took it over now. I'm starting to put agaves and cactus in there. So this is a queen palm I picked up 2 years ago, I believe. It's doing quite well. Again, outside all winter under the eaves. Only brought in when it got severely cold. So pretty nice palm. A little bit different. Sago palm, Cycas revoluta. It's very hardy. I've had this thing out all winter too. Again, only brought it in during that -12 event. And it keeps pushing out new growth every year. It's really nice. Bit of succulents there. This is my Jubea chilensis, a small one that I grew from a very young age. This is about 5 years old now. You can see how slow those things grow. Let's go down to the lawn. So I'll show you my big Jubea chilensis. Well, not that big, but it's probably about 15 to 20 years old. So this thing survived the winter pretty good. I did build a shelter for it with some old school Christmas lights for heat. When it got down to those extreme temperatures, I didn't want to lose it. But as you can see, it's very happy and it's pushing out some new growth. So a very nice palm. Doesn't mind the wet cold that much. So it's a good palm for this area. This is a chocolate vine. Got 2 different colors, a white flowered one and a purple flowered one. Chocolate vines also make edible fruit, which we haven't tried yet. And the blooms actually smell like chocolate, which is cool. This is my pineapple guava, my largest one. As you can see, it doesn't look so great. Really suffered from that -12 episode. It's got some new growth on the bottom, but I'm not so sure how alive it is everywhere else. I'm just gonna leave it for now and see what happens. My Musabaju bananas, hardy fiber bananas, they're starting to pop up. So it's mid-May right now, so they're kind of delayed. At this point last year, I think they were at least 7 to 8 feet high. Here they're barely 3 feet. So that cold winter really sucked for these bananas. I didn't really protect them too much either. I just put some banana leaves over the roots, but I didn't do anything more than that. So I'm sure if I had protected them a little better, they would be a little bigger by now. It's our front bed, mostly just ornamental plants in here. Another Korean fir, golden Korean fir. Some rhododendrons. It's a camo fatsia that I picked up. I really love that plant. Fatsias are fairly hardy. They suffered a bit this year, but again, we're a bit warmer here on Bowen Island, so they don't tend to do too badly. It's my other big Trachycarpus. Again, a bit of a stick right now because I had to take off all the broken fronds from the heavy snow event. But it is pushing right now some new growth. And I believe it is also blooming. I thought I saw a bloom shoot on there. Right there. Inflorescence, that's what it's called. This is my Schlifera. So my Schlifera taiwaniana thought was dead because all the leaves fell off and it was squishy at the very tip. And then it started sprouting little nubs from these side nodes, auxiliary nodes. And as you can see, it's looking pretty good now. So this was completely unprotected, -12 Celsius. And the previous winters also got quite cool and it never suffered at all. So this was the first year it actually had some measurable damage, but it did come back. Down here I have a hybrid trachy. This is a Trachycarpus princeps / fortunei, I believe. So I planted that. We'll see what happens. I might protect it a bit if it gets below -10 Celsius this winter. Tetrapanax papyrifera rex. So this thing I thought was toast too because it was about 5 feet last year, and as you can see, that's the old stalk, but it ended up coming back from a lower node, and it's shooting up tons of runners. So I got little runners popping up everywhere, including over here. It's already made quite a mature plant. So you really can't kill this thing in a zone 8A, 8B, 9A. You can't kill it. It's gonna come back from runners. That's the rest of the side beds. Some ornamentals. Let's check out the side yard now. Okay, so this is the courtyard, as we call it, or the side yard. Here we have my avocados. These are hardy avocados, all in 15-gallon pots. They're actually blooming right now. So maybe we'll get some avocados finally. Some Italian cypress. I haven't figured out where to plant those yet. It's a big black fig tree. It's a shore pine. Some bamboo, large timber bamboo, yellow calmed. Here I have my greenhouse. I have a few videos on our greenhouse if you want to go into more detail about it. You can watch those. Just some various plants here. These are plants I usually haven't planted yet in the garden, or I don't have space for them. These are actually guavas, strawberry, lemon guavas, canna lilies. This is another Cerifera, Camelop Cerifera. This is sable minor palm. Finger limes here. This is a variegated bougainvillea. Some canna lilies. Just a variety of things. Some conifers. These are mimosa trees. Chocolate mimosa and a regular mimosa. I had them planted in the yard, but they're so slow to come out every year. They really only leaf out for about 4 months, which is just kind of a waste of a space. So I decided to just keep them in a pot, have them on the driveway for now. As you can see, they're still not leafed out, and it's mid-May. Greenhouse. Greenhouse has got all kinds of stuff going on, but we use them mostly for growing succulents. Beautiful bougainvillea here. Grow some aloes. Ponytail palm there. We're carting off our tomatoes to plant out in the yard. And peppers. And then we also have my agave collection, which I have to put out soon outside. And then this is a hydroponics setup, so we can grow things hydroponically. So we have this fish bin here with the fish. Sends water up to the hydroponic beds. Plants grow, use up the nutrients, and then send the clean water back down to the fish. So it's a cycle. It's quite an efficient way of growing without soil. These are a citrus. So I have lemons, limes, oranges, mandarins. Staghorn fern. It's doing quite well in the greenhouse here. Another aloe. That's the greenhouse. Greenhouse is the best thing you can ever do for your garden. It helps grow more efficiently, and also during the seasons that you can't normally grow things, you can grow simply by adding a heater in there. You can grow a lot of things that you can't normally grow in many climates. This is a grapevine. So this is the trellis where we grow our tomatoes. We plant them along the bottom, and then they snake their way up on those ropes. Because tomatoes are a vine, so they will rather climb than grow just willy-nilly. And some more beds here where we grow. This is garlic. I think my wife planted out some other things in these beds. Hasn't come up yet. There's another fig here. It's another evergreen magnolia. It's snapped in half this winter. And those are olives down there. So we do get olives on these olive trees, and as you can see, they're unfazed after -12 Celsius this winter. So olive trees are reliably hardy, as long as you get the right varieties. These are from Crimea Peninsula, where it gets quite cold, so they're used to those colder temperatures. That's a loquat right there. And then we have another fig, Desert King. This is a pear tree. That's our berry patch, where we grow all kinds of berries. Raspberries, blueberries, gooseberries, red currants, blackberries. And it's full sun there. And then we have a lot of fruit trees as well. It's a plum, another plum there. That's an apple. That's another apple. And then if we work our way around here, we have a cherry tree down there, a crab apple, and another plum. And then I just put some ornamental rhododendrons in areas where it gets some shade. Mock orange, just for some ornamental value, and also some evergreen plants that you can enjoy all season. Some more rhododendrons under the fir there. This big fir we have in the backyard for a little bit of privacy and shade. Over here we have another bed of garlic. And here my wife just planted out some squash. This is gonna be squash in there. Over here's another apple, and then we have a covered bed here where we grow our stone fruit. So these are peaches. See the little peaches coming up. This is a nectarine. And this is another peach. And another peach over here. This is actually a white peach. And then we also have, I put some Chilean guava in here and some pineapple guava, which some of them don't look so good after the winter. This one looks pretty good still. So it gets quite warm. This is south facing here. Some smoke bushes. This is a large leafed magnolia. As you can see, these are pawpaw trees. They're blooming right now. Show you the bloom on a pawpaw. So pawpaw blossoms, they smell like rotting flesh. They also have that color of like a fleshy color to them. And they get pollinated by flies. So these are pawpaw trees. And it kind of looks like a mango, but the seeds are numerous in them. And I haven't tasted one yet because we haven't had fruit yet. This year they're both blooming, so hopefully we'll get fruit. And over here we have a kiwi vine, and asparagus. Check out that asparagus. It's kind of crazy. Let's see what else to show. That's a cherry tree. And underneath we grow strawberries and flowering currants, roses, just kind of herbs and stuff like that. Another beautiful maple. It's our patio, or sorry, courtyard, I guess. The flagstone, and this is Irish moss that grows in between. Hopefully we'll fill in all the cracks. Got a persimmon here. These are all blueberries, strawberries, some apple tree. This here is a plum. And we have some hostas underneath, rhododendrons, Japanese forest grass. As you can see, I love hostas. They just look so exotic and tropical. Really does make your garden pop. This is another hybrid Trachycarpus. This is, I think it's either Fortunae princeps or Waggy or princeps. This looks more Fortunae princeps, and maybe the other one before was the Waggy princeps. So again, we'll see how that does this winter. Might protect it a little bit. Some more maples here. This is a Schlafera delavei, which is actually more hardy than a Taiwaniana. I never had any issues with this. No damage whatsoever, even after -12 Celsius. And we got some steps here. It's a coral bark maple. Some steps going up here to the upper garden. Here we have mostly ornamental plants. Some maples, some conifers, hostas, rhododendrons, bamboo. jungle here. That's my wife's art studio. Gonna have to duck to get through here now. There's all kinds of treasures here planted out. Rhododendrons here, there, and everywhere. I'm basically running out of room. You guys have that problem? Running out of room? These are ostrich ferns. Really love those. It's a big leaf rhododendron. It's actually blooming first time for me. Look how beautiful that is. Some azaleas. Here's our water tank. So it's 1,200 gallons of rainwater we collect every winter, and then have some supplementary water for if we get short or there's a drought. It's, Robina, Pseudoacacia Robina frisia. It's just leaving out now. It's a very chartreuse color. Just love that color against the green, the red of the bloodgood maple. Mock orange. It's another evergreen magnolia, also snapped in half, as you can see. Unfortunate. So yeah, things are just blooming. It's looking really good right now. And then I have a few more maples over here. Got our compost boxes, make compost. Then I have a few more maples I planted out back here, along with some rhododendrons. Check out this pure white maple, floating cloud it's called, Yukigumo. Is that awesome? There's some more rhodos there. And then the neighbor, noisy neighbor, weed whacking all day. Gotta love that. Some more rhododendrons. Anyways, that's it, guys. That's the update mid-May. Things are starting to come around. We're starting to get some better weather. And yeah, this winter sucked. 3 sucky winters in a row. So, I don't know. You just gotta change the way you grow things and maybe select the right varieties. When it comes to palm trees, I mean, the Fortunae are still pretty good. The more mature they are, the better. Sable minors are definitely the way to go. Needle palms are okay. Rostrata, Yucca rostrata, those are pretty bulletproof. So if you like exotic things, definitely go for those. But yeah, the winters are throwing us some curveballs, so we'll see what this winter will bring. But for now, we have a beautiful summer ahead of us. And I'll do another update maybe midsummer, and we'll see how those big trackies are making out. Anyways, hope you guys are having a great day. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. We'd really love to grow this channel. And if you'd like to see anything else from my yard, please comment below and I'll feature it on the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.